redundancies at 10, starting with the shuttering of their website, 10Daily. Now, Robbo actually broke the news here on Ben, Rob and Robbo show and has put everyone in a flurry, not least of which this guy, because I had to come up with some stuff to tell you about that story. Understandably, 10 are a little bit closed shop about this. They haven't put out a release yet. They're not talking about it, though staff from 10 Daily, including senior editor Josh Butler, have started tweeting confirming that they are indeed out of a job from Friday.
Yeah, it's interesting. I just saw this one from Tegan George. She says, devastated to read this. So many wonderful people work on 10 Daily. And as you said, Josh Butler said, sad news, 10 Daily is being closed from Friday, backing up the reporting Robbo has done today. There will be a lot of people left without jobs, news, lifestyle and entertainment journalists, editors, video editors, social staff. They're all guns. If you need people, please DM Josh, as he can recommend a few legends to hire. Robbo, what else are you hearing? Because you have been all over this story.
Well, this is the thing. It's massive news, obviously, across the media landscape that 10 Daily is going to go. We understand that at 2 p.m. today, Ross Dagan, the head of news and current affairs at Network 10, is going to address staff. I think the story is broken a little earlier than what they wanted it to, but it has. Obviously, we've got to keep saying this. Our thoughts and prayers and our love go to everyone at 10 now, because obviously 10, as Malk mentioned there, was the first one to get the axe, but the axe still looms over the entire network with more redundancies to follow. Look, I've got to say, editorially, in classic form, Bev McGarvey's email is a little bit vague, which just adds to the anxiety and things like that. She also uses the term platform agnostic.
What
Look,
does that mean?
I don't even know no one knows what that means. So to put that into an email when, you know what, you're dealing with people's lives and livelihoods. A lot of people in television, as all of us can attest to this, is a passion of ours. So to have someone talk about platform agnostics and that kind of thing is just, there's no heart there. And a lot of people are in that building because of the heart that they have. We've got a lot of friends, well, more colleagues, I guess, more acquaintances. No, kidding.
Wow.
We've got a lot of people that we know and love. No, I'm kidding. A lot of people we know and love at Channel 10, and it is really terrible what they're going through. We've also reached out to Josh to see if he could comment. He probably can't, and we understand that. It's a very emotional, tough time, and he's about to hear from his boss. But we have reached out for comment from him. He was the first person to break this news. This is really tough. But Malk, obviously, this is really not this is the first axe to fall. But 7 and 9 surely are next.
Yeah, look, we've seen 7 already sort of quietly slide some people out the door with some redundancies and stuff finishing up there. 9 doing the same. They're very small for both of those networks. For this to be the shuttering of 10 Daily and possibly more, I mean, none of this is good news for the media industry in Australia. And all of this, of course, off the back of Foxtel with sizable redundancies. I think so far the running count is 270 people have lost their job at Foxtel, with at least nearly that many stood down for a period of time while they try and push through this. A diabolical moment for the Australian media industry.
And the tough thing is that 10 Daily only just started, they would have only just celebrated their 2-year anniversary on the 14th of May. They began online on the 14th of May in 2018. Sandra Sully is a big part of that. Obviously, Lisa Wilkinson is a big part of that. But they do have some really talented people, and they actually take up a sizable amount of 10's newsroom on level 3, and that will all be gone. Now, what does that do? Obviously, when people have been through redundancies, we know that. It is that when you see all these empty desks, the morale just plummets, and especially when the axe is still swinging over it, there will be zero morale. And I really feel for everyone at Channel 10,
well, Robbo,
because they're going to leave a massive space.
You and I have been there when there were redundancies, and it is a horrible experience because everyone just wonders who's next. They turn on each other, they blame each other, they blame other managers, they blame where the money's been spent, and the people, people at 10 with this Viacom CBS merger, honestly would have thought this isn't going to happen again. And here we are. It's a bad situation. Sorry, Mark, I know you wanted to say something.
Oh, I was just going to jump in and say, and with, Ross Dagan now to talk to the troops, conveniently just after the Ben, Rob and Robbo show, means that, that information and the bigger part of this story will continue to spin out. It's absolutely going to be a morale cutter within 10 at Piermont there. And it's absolutely going to put a whole bunch of people out looking for jobs at a time when it's not great to be looking for jobs. And it's only a week off the back of 10's big pitch to market about how they're agile, dynamic. The ratings are up. Things are going really well for them, and that they're the under 50s network. Everyone should be turning to 10 to advertise and do all those sorts of things. It does, for me, offer a couple of big questions around the nature of McGarvey's statement around platform agnosticism. If you're then going to shutter what is ostensibly your big news website.
Mulk, it's interesting. I'm trying to think back to that reel. Was a big deal made about 10 Daily in that reel?
It wasn't mentioned, and
So
in retrospect, yeah, that's very telling, isn't it? Like 10 Play. 10 All Access, barely mentioned.
Yeah. Well, very interesting. And then, of course, there are going to be questions about what else happens, what's going to be gone. What programs, everyone who works on a show will go back to that reel and look, were we mentioned that much? Did we get a good Guernsey? And I can think of some shows that didn't. But I do not want to fuel any speculation on that.
Yes.
The other thing, Mulk, we should mention is that we will have reports on tvblackbox.com.au once the Ben, Rob and Robbo show finishes. And we are recording a brand new episode of TV Black Box, the podcast. This is the podcast people in the industry go to for their news. So we will have all the very latest developments. That will be in your podcast feed later tonight or when you wake up tomorrow morning. So there's lots to get across with this story. This is a big breaking story, and we will continue to bring it to you. But meanwhile,